Hello, testing 1 2. Can anybody hear me? I see Ash is in the chat already. So let me just start this up here. If anybody can let me know if they can hear me. Okay, looks like I can be heard. Nice. Alright, so I think I've got a bit of a delay. Maybe like 5 seconds. I was trying to work on it earlier today. I mean, I haven't done this live. I've done a live stream maybe, let me think. Probably like 5 years ago now, like on my own. So this might be a bit rough. Bonjour, Ragluff. Alright, well, as you guys might have seen on the thumbnail, I'm going to be working on this Reverie-looking lieutenant from the Leviathan box. Now, I actually wanted to get this mostly built up before I started the stream tonight, but yeah, while I was putting my son to sleep, I might have accidentally passed out myself, so I apologize for that. Alright, so I will need you guys' help actually doing this, because I've not planned this miniature out at all today, so I kind of need some input on what I'm going to do. I'm trying to find all the bits for this, I just had them somewhere. Where did I put them? I wanted to prepare at least something for this live show. Now I don't know where I've put them now. Let me look under here. I've got my iPad here just to kind of keep an eye on chat. Okay, apparently it's disappeared. Well, anyway, while I'm waiting, well, looking around, I'll kind of clean up some sprue bits here. How about you guys let me know in the chat what you're working on at the moment? Or what you've been working on over the weekend? And maybe some suggestions on what I need to do on this dude. And just out of if everybody's curious, because I'm doing the whole Space Wolves army saga. Free man, I don't know how you pronounce that. You're talking about the lieutenant, yeah. It's a really cool looking miniature. At first, I wasn't planning on using this for anything, especially not anything Space Wolfy. But then I thought like the Tyranny bits on it actually look like maybe he's been fighting Krakens on Fenris or something like that. So yeah, kind of works out. I see some people working on Dark Angels there. That's always fun. Just a quick check of the chat. Is my like visual bit, is it a bit like stuttery or is it just my end? I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm trying to, this is going to be a very chill-in chat session. I'm kind of figuring out this whole live streaming thing. See how it goes going forward. Yeah, that is a lot of knives on the table. It's yeah, I might remove some of these and replace them with axes because, you know, this guy's going to be an ocean-bound sea raider kind of vibe, you know. I think little axes will look a little bit nicer on this. Alright, cool. So visual looks fine. That's good to hear. Oh, nice. You finished Logan. I'm a bit nervous about getting to that one. Nudok Prime. Yeah, because that's a big intimidating model. Yeah, talking about axes, I was going through some earlier when I had some time, and I found Found some of these. I think they're from the old Slaves to Darkness. And I don't know. I think if I can clean this up, it gives me more of like say, Viking Sea Raider vibes. And I do have some of these from the Horus Heresy, one of the, what is it, the Grey Slayers kit? That's probably not a good one to show. It's still got some flashing on it. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, but unfortunately, they've only got the right-hand ones, and I kind of want both sides to look the same, so it's a bit of a bummer, but these are really cool-looking axes. I did think about maybe some sort of harpoony looking action. I think in the Reaver kit they've got that grappling gun. I thought that'd be quite cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up with chat here. Nope. Is there an ad on here now? Skip that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have any speary harpoon looking things in my bits box. That's something I'm kind of lacking. I wish there was a place somewhere that you could just bulk buy like kit bashing bits, because I always feel like I'm running low on stuff and then I have to go out and buy some kits, and it's a pain. But yeah, some harpoons and spears would be great. Yeah, I think I was yeah, chains always work. Like I said, I guess some of the lore for this chapter, well, custom great company, I guess, not a chapter. They're based, well, kind of descend from the Sea Wolves. So my lore, that's at some point, my Wolf Lord was the Wolf Lord that currently is the Sea Wolves or whatever. So they're very like from ocean raider bound tribes on Fenris. They love boarding actions, void warfare, that kind of stuff. So yeah, going for that kind of like slightly, like I say, like oceany vibe would look quite cool with spears and stuff like that. Yeah, I think yeah, like I say, netting and stuff like that. But once again, I need to find some kits that have that sort of stuff. And I need to actually glue this model together, and because this is going to be very boring to watch. Because I'm too busy focused like reading chat at the moment. No, sorry. Yeah, thanks, Freeman. Like I said, I'm working on the lore for the guys. The great company is called the Storm Splitters. So again, that whole storm vibe. The kind of my plan at the moment is like you're gonna have Terminators, because again they got the whole boarding action kind of thing. So the Terminators will go in, but there's also my second wave. Hopefully, if I get to it, is going to be a lot of fast attack. So I want a lot of like speeders, guys on bikes. I just want a mob of biker Viking warriors in space. So I think that'll be really fun. Yeah, the Deepkin I think is a good idea, and I think some of the old what are those elves in the old world / fantasy, the more oceany pirate ones? I think they've got a lot of cool stuff. No, Cruel Boys is a good shout, actually. I didn't think of that. I have some Cruel Boys kits lying around. Alright, let me actually start gluing stuff together. I'm not going to be able to do any kit bashing on this stream. Yeah, I mean, what is more cool than a bunch of space super soldier Viking dudes on motorcycles? I mean, it doesn't get more over the top than that, really. Okay, I really do need to find these extra bits. I have absolutely no idea where they've disappeared to. Oh, I found them. Again, my son was up here earlier, so it's ended up on the floor. So I found the main body now. Yeah, there we go. I probably should have changed out my blade here, because I want to snip out this little star-looking thing, but it's a bit of a small detail, and this scalpel thing is not very sharp. I'm gonna have to try and get this bit out here. Don't know if you guys can see. I'm trying to keep it in focus here if I can. So I know I keep talking about the stream thing, but like I said before, this is kind of a test going forward in the future. So I'm just checking that everything's nice and clear on your end, nice and crisp. It's not too blurry or anything like that. Yeah, I think Age of Sigmar in general has just got like a lot of cool spears in it, so it's definitely something I need to try and raid. Alright, cool. That's good to hear, Asher. Thank you. Yeah, Wolfen with 8-bound would work pretty well because they've got kind of a similar vibe to them, especially with the little feet. But yeah, that would be quite a pricey kitbash because you'd have. I think, did the 8-bound come in threes? But then, yeah, Wolfen are 5, so you're gonna have to buy a few odd kits there. And to be honest, I was planning on doing a video kit bashing Wolfen, but I have kind of done that video before. I wanted to do a full unit of it, but also I feel like GW is going to either. Oh, have I frozen that? Oh, there we go. I think GW is either going to do a new kit of them in the next edition or something, or maybe possibly discontinue them. I don't think they'll do that. Yeah, so I'm trying to get this small little detail out of here. That's the problem with probably streaming kit bashing is like it's not a very interesting thing to watch. That's like when I edit things down, it's like hours upon hours of just fiddly trimming things out, cut down into a couple of seconds. So yeah, feels weird trying to keep things interesting, but I'm trying to cut this tiny detail out with a blunt hobby knife. The hook on this guide, you mean, Asher? And let me try and see that comment. Do they still fit the Vikings theme? Do you mean the 8-bound? I don't know really. Depends how much you scrape things off and change things up because they're very chaotic looking. And I feel like their armor's got that kind of almost like bulging raw muscle vibe to it. I mean, I can have a look for it, hook, and see what it looks like. I don't know if I got anything to represent that. Like I said, I've got out a lot of little axes because, like, again, I like the idea of him. Basically, he's gonna end up looking like this, So it's just pointing his little axe out, dual wielding them. I think that'll look quite cool. Again, like I say, going for that whole Viking Raider thing. Also, doesn't work in actual like game wise, but I was thinking of one of these like Horus Heresy shields. So I think that's probably too much. I mean, it would look pretty cool though. Yeah, bare arm would look cool, and I probably do have a few from the what do you call them, the Berserkers kit. So that would be quite interesting to do. All right, let me leave that bit for now, because like I say, I'm always a bit self-conscious that I'm like being boring here, so I'll leave that tiny little scrapey bit because I actually want to start gluing stuff. One thing I will do is, because this is one of those push fit models, I'll snip off all these pegs because they usually ruin things. So yeah, let's get rid of these. Yeah, I mean, double axe will be good. Like I said, once I'm at that point, I'm happy to take suggestions on it. But right now, it's just the bits I have on my table, and I think it would work. So yeah, let's cut this down. As for the basing, I'm not actually going to glue this guy down because I've not really nailed the basing that I want for my army. I was talking to someone yesterday about this. It's quite weird that Space Wolves are the army that are on snow, and I like them on snow because it's thematic, it works, and it just looks cool. But at the same time, with their armor color, like that light grayish blue color on white, it doesn't pop very well. So you'd actually want them on like Mars bases or something more like that kind of style. So yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, I might change my spacing scheme up, do maybe less snow, maybe more tundra. No, not tundra, like snowy forest, I don't know. Yeah, the new Marauders that they did are absolutely phenomenal. I really, really want to get those new Marauders for Old World. I was so tempted to get that box when it came out, and it would probably be amazing for bits for this army as well. I do have the Dark Oath for Age of Sigmar. I don't know if I should check in that. I don't know what they've got in that kit. I can't remember. Yeah, mossy could work. Like I said, like mossy forest ground stone kind of thing. I don't know. I was looking at some of those sites like Epic Basing and Grey Tide Studios. They do a lot of like what do you call them, base toppers. And yeah, I think they do a lot of cool stuff like all those stones in tree trunks and all that. Now, Freeman, I do actually have a Space Wolves army, an older one that is done in the Heresy style. Plus, I have a Heresy army in the grey, so I kind of wanted this one to maybe be that more bluish armor to be a little bit different. Yeah, I can't remember if you did post pictures over Christmas or not, Ragluff. You should, because like I said, those models are just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I think if they updated all of the Slaves to Darkness in the old world, like the new Marauders, I would have been 100% in, but I don't know, it's just some of the older kits don't grab me all that much. And obviously, when it comes to old world, I always feel like I'm more of a dwarf man. And I do have some dwarves lying around, but one day I'll get to them. Yeah, you probably were drinking too much mead, but to be honest, I was on holiday then and I was having trouble getting internet, so I wasn't on Discord much back in Christmas times. If anybody watching right now, if you want to jump into Discord, and like I'm on there pretty much all day, every day, chatting with people, sharing hobby and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely get on there if you want to have more regular chats. All right. One thing I will do, actually, I just realized I'm like working around this bit. Good evening there, Hosen Kobold. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, I'm going to remove the skull here while I'm doing it because I don't know why I'm working around it at the moment. We don't want that. It's the problem with Space Wolves, you're always carving everything away. Should have just chosen Ultramarines or something. I'm surprised we actually got 16 people watching, which is probably more than I expected. I was like thinking like I was hoping for at least 5. So it's nice to see a bit of a turnout, especially for my first ever proper live show. All right, so that's nice and cleaned up now. I'm so busy trying to do this and chat that I don't even know if I'm in focus half the time, but we'll get there eventually. Now a question for you guys, actually. This little bit here with this, I don't know, little krakeny tooth claw thing, and it's got this skull. Do I just chop this whole section off, or do I try and carve the skull away and keep the toothy bit? Obviously that'll be more work, but I do kind of like that. Like I said, this guy is supposed to be a cracking hunt, a cracking, I can't speak English, a kraken hunter. Like I said, he's either goes out in Fenris on his little ship and hunts down sea beasts there, or he's been killing some Tyranids and beasts along his way and just collecting trophies onto his body. So that's kind of the vibe for this guy. Keep the tooth. Yeah, I think it'd probably keep the tooth. It's a nice unique bit for him. Fine, as usual, I'll make my life difficult and see if I can snip this away. Again, I should have changed my blade out. Actually, maybe I'll just do that right now because I'm trying to cut that with this blunt blade. I have 2 hobby knives. One is kind of I use when I do green stuff work, so I can kind of get some sharp details in it. And then I got another one which is just for snipping stuff, but again, I didn't really prep very well for this and I don't know where it is. So I'm just going to change this blade out quick. I got these here. I don't know if you guys use the same brand or not, but I've been using this for years and yeah, really good. Was it Swan Morton? Don't worry, they're not sponsored or anything, just if you guys wanted to know. Yeah, sure. I'm a massive dwarf fan. It's something I've been waiting for Age of Sigmar to release a proper refresh of more standard looking dwarves, like not sky punk dwarves or anything like that. I quite like the Fire Slayers, but they need more range in their range. So maybe one day I'll have a dwarf army, just haven't found the one that fits me. Yeah, Hammer. These are amazing. Obviously, kind of looks like you're opening like chewing gum or something, so you don't want to eat that. The problem is every time I put a fresh thingy in, I always end up slicing my fingers because they're super sharp till they get a bit blunter. Yeah, it's the thing with Fire Slayers. They're just a bunch of tiny naked guys with red hair. It's not the most interesting thing on the table. I do like their lore though. I do have some Tyranids. I was about to say I don't have any Tyranids, but that's a lie. I've got some lying around from the Leviathan box, which this guy came from. So yeah, I could do that. All right, so nice fresh blade now. Let's see if I'm going to make Khorne proud or not, because you know he doesn't care where the blood comes from. Alright, so I kind of have to decide what I want to do with these arms. I think I'm just going to go for dual axes. It's going to be the easiest thing to do. Let me just glue this on. Actually, while I've got the sharper blade out, let's see if I can clean out this detail here, because before I was struggling with the blunt knife. Yeah, that's way better. Like butter. Speaking of showing you the hobby knife and stuff like that, I have thought before about doing like a beginner's guide video to kitbashing, because I do get a lot of comments sometimes, people like, oh, I'm new to kitbashing and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like talking about like what sort of blades and stuff I use. Yeah, using a plaster before you need a plaster, that's some next level thinking right then. That's a good, smart move, actually. Speaking of telling people what bits is good to use, I mean, look at this thing. This is the clippers I've been using, and yeah, I'm kind of ashamed of them. I don't think they're that old. They just rusted up really quick, and well, okay, that probably is really old now, but I remember I had a GW clipper and I had it for years and it didn't rust, nothing. Then I bought one of the newer ones, so new for me, and it rusted really quick. So I don't know if they just got cheaper metal or something, but I do need a new clipper. So if you got any, what's the word, suggestions, then let me know. Oh, 20 people. Man's making it in the streaming business now. Yeah, the springs just don't seem to last very long, and then you you always end up like pinching yourself. Speaking of trying to find stuff again, where is my glue? Here it is. And my glue's running low as well. I mean, I like to use the Tamiya extra thin when I'm doing small models like this. I do have some of the GW stuff, but obviously it's thicker and sometimes it can splurge out everywhere. Yeah, they are shocking. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes when I'm making videos, I'm like, man, this I shouldn't let people see my clippers. They're quite embarrassing. But anyway, yeah, let's see if I got any Tamiya glue left in this thing. I need to buy some more. Like I said, I've run out now. Because I've been doing so many weekly kit bashes, I'm like running out of bits, I'm running out of kits. I'm gonna have to do a massive restock on buying all the stuff for making these videos. 1 second, guys. This is barely any in here, so I'm trying to get this out here, then I'll catch up with chat. So I'm not very professional at this. Let's see if that's enough glue on there. Maybe. What am I doing? I just told myself I was going to clip that bottom bit off and then I've glued it on. So I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. So let's start this again. You lost your hand. Wow, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool that you lost it in there. Alright, anyway, let me actually do something here. Try and snip this off bit by bit. Again, like so, I'm going to try not to slice myself or damage the model because this is a very sharp blade right now. Now, I probably will have to, I don't know, do some green stuff or stick a little trinket in front of this because obviously there's going to be a big gap missing in this tooth. So if you have any suggestions on what to replace it with, or I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to add any like green stuff to this guy, like pelts. Again, let me know in the comments, or chat, I should say. I wanted to pick a model that I could just kind of chill work out, not like super stress about like getting loads of green stuff and getting it all perfect. I just want to do some light kit bashing to this dude while I just hang out with you guys. So, but I could do some green stuff if I need to. And I know it might sound strange because a lot of people find green stuff intimidating, but recently I've been like, do I rely on green stuff too much? It's like I've been trying to do kit bashes without green stuff to see if I can just use kits to kit bash instead of just falling back on like, oh, I'll just chuck some green stuff on it. Yeah, chucking a skull on here would definitely work, especially like I say, this guy's like a Kraken Hunter. Getting some more bone details dangling off his belt might actually be a really good idea. Yeah, leather pouch works. To be honest, I think the way I'm carving this, I'll probably be able to get the general shape of the tooth. Like, it's already almost there. It's not looking too bad. Now I got loads and loads of bits here that I can try and choose from. I think everyone needs to try their hand at some green stuff. I mean, especially if you're getting into not just kit bashing, but especially Space Wolves, you kind of have to. Not have to, I don't want to say that, but... And like, I've had a lot of people tell me like they're intimidated by green stuff, but really it's super easy, because I mean, if it doesn't work, you can just pop it back off, unless you super glue it, I guess, but... I've done it before. I've gone back to models I did green stuff on years and years ago, and I didn't prime or whatever. I looked at it, I was like, oh, that looks gross, and I just ripped it off and I can start again, you know what I mean? I look at some of my older videos where I was trying to do like easy green stuff and like that, trying to find easy ways to do it, and it all just, yeah, it didn't look very good, to be honest. Alright, I think I've managed to pretty much save that tooth. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see. Like I said, I got a bit of delay here on my end, so I'm trying to check if this is on there or not. But yeah, that's not too bad. I've got enough space there to stick a little wolf tail or something. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly normal, like, so to be nervous green stuffing. I was the first time I green stuffed, but I was like, oh, what am I doing here? Alright, now that that's cleaned up, now I can glue it on. Because, yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that earlier. And as always, like I show in the videos, you know, that plastic's all rough now. I'm going to get a little bit of thin plastic glue on there, smooth that all out, and it'll look 10 times better. There we go. Sorted. I might have to get my GW glue out because, like I said, that's running a bit too low for me. Yeah, I can definitely look for some more witchy, ritualistic stuff. I'll whip my bits boxes out in a minute, and you guys can help me pick some stuff. See what I mean? The stuff always just comes out so quick, and if you're not careful, you can damage models. I do like the GW stuff. I do find it's stronger, and obviously it comes out a lot more. So if you're doing like buildings or terrain or something like that, it's a nice glue to have. Yeah, it's a bit more messy though for small details like this. Okay, so he's coming together now. And as for like, I think I'm still going to stick him on this little Tony looking, where's his other leg? That one. Now, so I don't know what I'm going to do with my basing just yet, but I might just glue him on here for today because he's got his foot attached here. And depending on my basing, I could just chop some of this off later and cover it up with snow or whatever, and just looks like he stabbed some sort of alien, which it is, a Tyranid is an alien or whatever. That could be anything really. So yeah, I'll probably keep that. Although I just realized this guy has 2 knives in his hands and he's got 1 down here, but he's only got 2 pouches. So I'm going to have to cover up, if I'm going to go to axes instead of blades, I'm probably going to have to cover up one of those. That's not really going to work with where it is. That's a problem for later, I guess. Right. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think dual axes, so get 2 of them, or should I go for keeping 1 combat blade and 1 axe? And where did man, I'm losing everything in this chat. Here it is. Thanks, Ash. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think doing him as a Risen would look awesome. Well, everything will look good as a Risen, to be honest. Dark Angel-y vibes. 1 blade, 1 axe. 2 axes from Raglev. Why am I not surprised there? Yeah, so, I mean, from this guy, he's got 2 small knives, like these ones here, which are the ones that were in his, like, in his little leg holsters. But he's also got 1 giant combat blade. So yeah, he has 3 tiny ones, 2 tiny ones, 1 massive one. So I don't know if I'll keep this one or not. It seems like 2 axes might be winning it, so I'm gonna have to maybe snip these off. Okay, so 100% I'm getting rid of this one. I'm gonna say that. So yeah, let's get rid of this bad boy. I'm gonna try and reserve the hand as much as I can. I might use it for a future kitbash. Let's see if I can or not. Now I'm gonna use my little blue tack technique that I learned from We Paint Minis. If you guys have seen his channel, where you just stick it down here so your bit doesn't fly away, which is super handy. Where's my hobby saw? Do I just... I'm trying to think the best way I can try and preserve this. I'm going to have to get my saw out, I think. The amount of times I've tried to do this with a hobby knife and I end up splitting this thing and it flies across the room, so I don't want to lose an eye on stream. Let me find it. But you guys want to see my high-end way of storing stuff? It's just a coffee tub with some really old brushes in and my little silicone shapers and stuff like that. So yeah, very premium stuff right here. I did buy a new paintbrush though. Yeah, removing the bigger one will be a bit of a pain, but I mean, if it works, I'm always happy to put the extra effort in. Right, so like I said, I'm going to have to end up damaging this, but let's go for it. Sorry if the camera shakes while I'm busy sawing here. Get this off here quick. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I mean, the bottom's a little bit damaged, but it's a bit that I could possibly use for a future project. I'll always like to keep everything because you never know. So get rid of that. Got the arm. There we go. So now it's ready for that axe hand. But let me just clean up here a little bit. Get rid of this plastic here. Oh, chat keeps getting covered by a little heart thing at the bottom. Let me try and read that. I mean, that sounds pretty badass, Asher. I mean, Dark Angels and being over the top is like, it fits pretty well. Yeah, that's a good point, Ragloff. That diorama at Warhammer World is always a massive inspiration every time I see it, and that's not a bad shout, actually. Maybe I should just do that for my basing scheme. It's just them fighting loads of Tyranids. So leave the hand and remove the things. Yeah, I could pin the axe, I guess. Snip it there and there. But I don't think it'll be too bad removing it. I just feel like it's such a cool detail. I hate getting rid of it, but like I said, I feel like maybe 2 axes will be the better fit. Knight Errant shoulder pad. I'm not quite sure which one that is, to be honest. Can't, not off the top of my head right now. Alright, I'm going to do a very British thing here and have a sip of my tea. I made this before I started streaming and I think it's gone cold. Yeah, you got to finish those Heresy Angels because, I mean, Heresy stuff just looks awesome. But, I mean, Raglaf, you and I have had this discussion before, and I was talking about this as well yesterday with someone, is that Heresy Space Wolves are probably the most expensive and time-consuming Legion to do if you're actually trying to make them look the way they're supposed to look, like all the kit bashing and all that. So yeah, it's I don't know, like I love doing my Heresy Space Wolves and I want to go back to them. I just enjoy the aesthetic of Horus Heresy slightly more than 40k, but it took me months to finish like 1,000 points just because I had to, like I say, customize every single dude and buy all the expensive kits. Yeah, like I said, I don't blame you for giving up on your Heresy Wolves. It's just they're such a pain in the ass to like get the army to look the way it's supposed to. I mean, I'd love to do like Iron Warriors. They've always been a favorite of mine, but two things. One, I think the paint scheme can be boring unless you like really nail it. And two, I believe they're like probably like the most popular Legion. Maybe. So like you're gonna just have the same army as everybody else on the battlefield. It's probably not great. Why is this bit not sticking in here very well? I always hate these pin things. It doesn't seem to want to stay in there for some reason. Let me chuck a bit of extra glue on here. I don't think Raglov actually has that many armies compared to some people. Especially me. I've got an entire storage cupboard filled to the brim with boxes. There we go, that's sticking a bit better. Right, so onto some actual kit bashing maybe. So like I said, I've got this axe here. I can snip the hand a bit so it's angled. So I'm trying to think. Maybe I should glue his leg on first, get the pose kind of nailed down. Yeah, that's probably the best bet. Let's glue this on first. Actually, almost missed a bit. We're not allowed to leave any decorative skulls on here. That'd be absurd. Get rid of this bad boy here. Once this guy is actually done, I'm going to have to think of a bit of lore for him. Like I said, I'm trying to build up lore for all my characters in my army. It's the thing I like about Space Wolves is you can make everybody their own character and hero. No one's just a generic marine, you know what I mean? So yeah, Eldar, they just did that whole, was a battle force with the Elfie pirates, and man, was I tempted to get that. I don't know why, I just felt like maybe something a bit different, but yeah, that would have been a cool army to do. But I told myself, because one, I shouldn't start any more projects, and two, I'm spending all my free time, hobby time at least, trying to do weekly videos, trying to give this YouTube thing a go. So if I bought anything now, it would just end up sitting around not getting used. What's that about Iron Hands? So I don't know if I missed something though. Alright. What does this guy's backpack actually look like? There's nothing on there. That's... I quite like this model. I've actually, I've come across that channel recently. I haven't watched much of the stuff yet, but it did look quite interesting. Get a bit of glue in there. Alright. What are you guys thinking for head options, by the way? Because obviously I could green stuff, some stuff. But if I actually want to finish this model on a stream tonight, then I don't think that's a good idea. And how does this position on here? Like that? Yeah, I'm surprised carving that little trinket out on that tooth actually worked out really well. It looks pretty much bang on with nothing there. Okay, sorry, Hosen. Yeah, iron hands. Iron hands would be cool. I don't know. And other than Space Wolves, what heresy army would you guys recommend? I mean, like I said, I quite like Iron Warriors, but again, not much. Well, there's some kitbash potential there. Then again, I don't want too much because that's the whole reason why the Space Wolves burnt me out. And I went to the 40k ones because half the work's already done for me, you know what I mean? So Viking helmet with a chainmail covering the face? I don't think I have anything like that. I do, though, have this. Show you guys how I store my bits as well. I've got like these little shells with these things in it. I need to actually sort them out at some point. They're a bit of a mess. But yeah, lots of cool little bits in here. World Eaters would be a good choice. I mean, Dark Angels probably have the best. Hey, Chaos Kevin, nice to see you here. Thanks for jumping in. Saturnine Terminator helmets. I don't have any of them either. That would be interesting to see. Yeah, if none of you guys have seen Chaos Kevin's channel, definitely go see him. He's growing rapidly and his videos look far more premium than mine do, so definitely check him out. Kit bashing stuff, obviously, as well. Yeah, like I was saying before, I don't know if I got distracted. Yeah, the Dark Angels for Heresy, they're kits from Games Workshop are easily some of the best ones. But yeah, let's have a look at some of these head options. Yeah, I've got some of these ones from the Grey Slayers kit, like this guy with this masky helmet could be quite cool. Don't know if it's too different. Yeah, so I got that one. What else have I got in here? I've never used any of these sort of like leather mask ones. No mask from Asher there. Got this one. I don't know if his hair would probably get in the way on this one. I mean, I do have the grey, like the new Space Wolf kits lying right next to me, so I can always check them out. But I've got these, so I think this one's pretty cool, actually. He looks like he's missing an eye and he's a bit scarred up, so maybe from all the Kraken hunting he's been damaged. That could be quite a cool one. I like that one, actually. Yeah, it seems like my stream is getting a bit of a longer delay now for some reason, at least from what I can see. Yeah, bald dude could work. I think I've got all the heads from the Slayers. Let me have a look here. Yeah, so whatever's in this box here. Let me see. I've got so many of the masked ones. Yeah, if I want to go for really beardy and long flowing hair, I'd have to do some green stuff work. Which means I haven't green stuff a beard and hair for quite a long time now. I think I might be a bit twitchy. This one's bald. And he's beardy. I don't know if that makes a difference. So I was delaying this video starting to annoy me a little bit, but I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Yeah, I do like the heresy, like Grey Slayer heads and stuff like that. So I'm digging this one. Like, say, if you guys wanted a bald head on this, that's definitely an option. So I'll put him to the side. My fingers are too big to get into these little things. I normally use tweezers. Is that the same head? Yeah, it is. I will go through some of the newer ones as well. Now, this guy's pretty cool. He's got like the mask with the slick back hair. And if anybody's watched the later seasons of The Walking Dead, it kind of reminds me of, is it not Alpha, Beta, that's the one. Kind of reminds me of him. Or like some sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe going on here. Oh, if I can get it to fit there. Yeah, I don't know. Because he's got that slick back hair, I don't know if it's going to fit 100%. Not 100% feeling that one. Excuse me. Alright, let's put him to the side for now and actually just maybe work on this arm. Oh. It is currently starting to rain very heavily and I'm in the loft room, so if you guys do hear that, I apologize. I'll try and move the mic a bit closer to me. And I feel like I should be focusing on the weapon. I need to... Oh, dropping stuff. Yeah, I'm a man of the rain as well. There's nothing better than some good rain. But obviously I don't want it to ruin the audio as well. And I don't know how many of you guys are in this chat are from the UK, but I don't know if the streak has been broken yet, but it was raining for like over 2 months straight at one point. Like we're talking like over 50 days of rain every single day. It was crazy. So you're living in the UK now, so what brought you over here? And remember to drill your barrels out, guys. The little easy, quick way I do it. If I can line it up on this camera. Oh, okay, so it wasn't the weather that brought you here then? Yeah, I didn't line this up very well because I'm trying to do it on camera, but it'll do. Yeah, like people always say like, "Oh, I don't drill my barrels out because what's the point? It takes too much time." I was like, I just do it the lazy way. Like, so I just get my hobby knife and I don't get a drill bit out or anything like that. Once it's on the model, you're not going to really notice much. Yeah, so I'm kind of similar because I'm originally from South Africa actually, and I moved over here because my mother was half British and all that kind of stuff. So moved here when I was a teenager. Alright, I think that's safe to glue on now. There's little bits to clean up, but we'll get to that later. Like I said, I don't want to do all the boring stuff on stream. Should have cleaned this up before I started there. Yeah, I was thinking like how over the top do I make this guy? Like do I give him a cape or anything? But I feel like keeping him pretty slick and quick moving feels good for this guy. Especially for his rules. I need a bit of glue where that's going to connect actually. Yeah, South Africa's a great place. I mean, I've just been there on holiday this Christmas. First time in probably over, I don't know, 10, maybe more years. Where does this connect? Am I missing something here? Ah, it goes over there. I feel like something's not lining up there. It was hot, but it wasn't like over the top hot. I think it was raining quite a lot when I was there, so that was quite lucky, I guess, because I don't really like hot weather that much. Yeah, what do you reckon I should put on the backpack, Hosen? Hosen Cobalt sounds like something from World of Warcraft. Why is this not sticking down very well? If I got something in the way. Or is it that peg? Let me get this off here. This doesn't seem to fit very well. Let me remove this peg a bit more. I hate these things. Let's try now. Get a bit more glue back on there. Yeah, I think it was just that peg, because that's fitting much better now. There we go. That's why I always trim the pegs off. Yeah, like I said, Raglif, I'm not a summer man, and like I said before, I'm in the loft room. This is where my hobby space is, and loft room has no mercy in the summer. It's absolutely boiling in here. Like, wet pallet dries up instantly. I mean, in the winter, it's the opposite. It's freezing, but I'd prefer that. I do have some, like a rope bundle somewhere in my bits box. I'll have to rummage through to try and find it. So, yeah, that might work. But yeah, anyway, so that's the guy glued on. The backpack, whatever. Yeah, let's whip out the official kits and see what we can rummage from them. Let's have a look here. And if you guys see a head option you like as well, let me know. I could definitely get some. No, it's a bit too busy for anything pouch-wise. I think a lot of these cool hats I've used on my Grey Hunters already, and I don't want to duplicate. I think I got the Bloodclaw ones here, which I've not used. Let's see, what have we got here? I do like some of these wavy hair ones, especially the way he's standing. It kind of might look like he's standing on top of a cliff with his hair bellowing in the wind, like it's on a coastline or something. Ooh. There's this axe here. What do you guys think of this one? Do I go with a power axe or do I go with these more old school kind of plain Viking looking ones? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm going to snip it off anyway, just so I can keep it there while I'm thinking about it. With my ancient rusted clippers that I need to change. So we got that one. Yeah, Mike, I think Power Axe might be a good vibe. Let's see how it will, because I'm going to have to angle it a bit, but let's see. I just realized it's missing a bit, so I'll have to do some green stuff work on there as well, which would be a little bit frustrating, but I think that looks nice. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this Power Axe. Like I said, I'll have to do a bit of green stuff work to get it in there, but I am liking that. Thanks, Hosen, for jumping in. I appreciate it, man. It was good having a chat, and have a good night. Alright, let's see what else we can rummage from this. What is this for? Let me see. Yeah, because this one is like, it's missing the back. Yeah, I was thinking a spear would be really cool, but I don't think I have one anywhere. And if I do, I'm going to have to go look deep inside some of my bits boxes somewhere, and I don't know. It's probably not great for a stream. But yeah, anyway, I'm focusing too much on that and not actually moving on to the next parts. I've also got these little backpack things I can chuck on there. Let's see if we got any good head options here as well. Maybe try this one here. Ooh, Mike, that's actually a good shout. I completely forgot I own the Horus Heresy like close combat box. That has a lot of weapons in it. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know, is this head too over the top? I think the hair's probably blowing around too much for the static pose on this guy. Yeah, it could maybe work, but I'm not 100% feeling it. That can go in the maybe pile. Let me move this out the way so I can try and get some more of my bits boxes out here. What are you stuck on? Nope. Something just broke. Alright, let's see, what have we got here? Who has the best power axes? That's a good question. Probably the Space Wolves, but I might be biased on that one. Let's see, what do I have in this pile here? Yeah, the problem is I tend to like to keep my things as WYSIWYG as possible, especially this being an army that I actually want to play. I could probably get away with a spear, but you never know what people are like. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the Black Templars like refresh or whatever is easily one of the best. I mean, the Dark Angels one might be up there as well. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything here I like. Although now that I've got this bit out, I'm kind of thinking, should this guy have had a cape? Nah, it wouldn't fit with all the bits he's got on him, so no, that's impossible. I've also had this bit lying around for years. I think it's from the Thunderwolf Cavalry kit, and I've been trying to find a reason to use it. Obviously not for this particular kitbash, I'm just pointing it out. Yeah, I also feel like maybe a shield on the back might... Would that be too much, a shield? Because he's got a giant combi bolter as well, so that's probably going to be a bit too crazy. I don't know. Speaking of Black Templars... Oh, actually, I just found another axe. That would be easier to use than the other one. Sorry, I got distracted there. What was saying? Black Templars. I want to do a custom chapter at some point in my life, and it's going to be very Dark Angel / Black Templary, because then I can steal kits from both and kitbash them, so that'd be great. Very knightly vibe, different to the Space Wolves. Okay, so that's cool. There's this runic sword from the old kits, and this actually fits pretty much perfectly. I wouldn't have to do anything to that. So then you guys let me know, should I go for an axe, one of the older looking axes, or should I go for this rune blade? Yeah, I'm not sure. The sword does look pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty much perfect for this miniature. No, I don't have the stuff from the new Ultramarines kit. Mike, this model is for my custom Great Company Space Wolves thing. I was talking about my lore and stuff I'm making for it. And this guy's basically just some sort of like sea raider kind of guy, like, because he's got these Tyrannity bits on him. It kind of works perfect that he's some sort of like Fenrisian Kraken Hunter. So I thought it'd be quite cool to just use him. Something light and breezy so I can just kind of chat to you guys while kit bashing up something that I'm not too bothered about. But yeah, I'm liking this sword, so let me know about that one. I'll put this bits box away for now. And thanks for joining, by the way, Mike. It's never too late. Like I said to the guys when I started the stream, it's this is mostly just kind of a chill sesh, just trying to figure out the streaming thing and hang out with you guys. I'm not really super in-depth kit bashing here. Also, should I go ultra heresy vibes and put a Dark Angel's head on this guy? Because that will make everybody happy. That's a very good shout, Mark. I like that whole, he's got the combi weapon, so no, why not combi power blade? So that could be really fun, actually. I do have this. Yeah, sorry, I won't dare put in this Dark Angel's head on there. Sorry, I got this old axe over here. Where's the other hand gone? I could possibly. I don't know if that would work. So he's got an axe and a sword. Like I said, or an axe and an axe. I've got so many axes. There's these old school axes. Too many choices. Let's just put that away and actually start doing some stuff. Yeah, I've said this a million times before in videos, in posts and stuff like that, but the part that takes me the longest with kit bashes is actually the planning phase. I overthink things and I analyze every little bit that I use, and I'm just like, this is obviously a live show. I just need to just start gluing things together. I can't be thinking about it. So yeah, we're thinking axe and a sword then? So what people are thinking? I mean, I'm perfectly happy to use this sword because it takes no work from me to look awesome. It's like bang on right there. Needs a bit of cleaning up, but Yeah, I'll wait a bit to see if you guys comment if I should go with this before I start gluing it on, but I think I'm going to go for this sword. Like I said, it's easy, it fits perfect, and it'll look badass. I think I used this sword for a kitbash years ago and I popped it off, so... Yeah, I'm not 100% sure which axe I'll go for the right arm yet, so let me know in the comments below if I should go for something a bit more like old school and brutal like this, or go for this one from the old upgrade sprue maybe. But anyway, I'll stop chatting and, well, I need to chat, but I mean, actually just glue this in and do something. Alright. Now, usually I like to get the head choice sorted out so I can get the pose done, but I'm not 100% sure on the head yet. So let's just... And the pose is pretty much built out already with the arm being mono pose. Alright, Ragloff, thanks for popping in again. I really appreciate that, man. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll chat to you later or tomorrow or whatever like that. So have a good one, man. Alright, so this is where he's looking right now. I don't know if I changed the angle of the blade or not. Let me know. Yeah, it's annoying. I said this before, but there's like a bit of a delay in this chat here with the camera footage, whatever. So getting the reply from you guys is a bit on the slow end, but yeah, let me know what you think of that. I think that's pretty good. So especially if I just put this head here for now. Actually, that head looks pretty good now that I've got the sword like that. Yeah, like so I was originally going to go for dual axes. I kind of wanted that whirlwind of death vibe, just swinging and hatcheting things apart. But, you know, if a sword works, it works. Alright, so if you guys are happy with this sword, I'm going to stick with it, and then I'm going to try and think of what to do with this arm. But regardless of what I'm going to do, I guess I have to actually snip it away, so I guess I can do that while I'm waiting on that. Now, let's see. Is there any way I can preserve this without damaging everything? I don't think so, so I'm just going to snip it off. Thanks, Asher. Yeah, I think it's looking alright so far. It's not too bad. Yeah, I'm still kind of pondering if I should have just gone for the dual axes now, but I'm just overthinking things, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if this axe really is going to suit it very well. I might have to find something else, but anyway, I mean, let's just jump in and cut it. Let's just do it. It's a problem with kit bashing, especially in videos, is you can't do a take two, you know what I mean? Once you've cut something, it's done. Yeah, historically speaking, yeah, axes and, I mean, swords and stuff like that are obviously very Viking. If I remember correctly, I think it was more like if you're slightly richer, you could afford a sword, because obviously it took more work, whereas an axe was just kind of like a chunk of steel. So yeah, now I just got to try and carve this hand out now. You know, this guy is a lieutenant after all, so maybe he is fancy enough for a blade. I'm gonna have to think of some sort of cool name for him as well. Because the great company are called Storm Splitters, and this guy's got 2 blades, some sort of like tornado name. Blades of Stormblade or something. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, actually. Now, Ash, I think, did I see you talking to Raglaf that you've joined the Discord now? I'll jump on after this live stream and welcome you on there as well. Hey, when it comes to the data sheet I'm using, probably just the one that he's supposed to be, if you know what I mean. I don't really play much. I'm building out my first proper army to really start playing, but yeah, it'll just be lieutenant with combi weapon, I guess, because he's still got the combi weapon on the back. The only thing I'm really doing is changing his 2 knives for an axe and a sword, so it's still 2 blades, really. It's WYSIWYG enough, I guess, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, rules-wise, I'm not the most clued up person, to be perfectly honest. I haven't played a game of anything since pre-COVID, so like, I think it was the beginning of 2020. Loki the Cyclone, I like it. I feel like you could call him Loki. You need some sort of mischievous head option on this guy then. Knut the Great, that's a pretty good one. Although, it's one of those names where it feels like someone's pranking you. Yes, the sword is from the Firstborns. This is from the old Grey Hunters kit. Yeah, it's just the old school one. Still got a few of the old school things lying around, so they do come in handy. But anyway, like I keep saying, I'm taking my time on things a bit too much here. I don't even know what the time is right now. Ooh, almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, thanks, guys. I think he's turning out alright so far, considering how distracted I am. But yeah, originally, like I think I said at the beginning of the stream, I wasn't planning on even using this model for my Space Wolves, but then I was like, actually, he does look pretty good for them. All right, I've cut that bit out there now. So, you know, he's still got that bit of armor, like toned armor paneling around the hand so he can fit in there nicely. Let's see if this will fit without... Oh, that fits without any more clipping, I think. It'll need a little bit more. I'm going to do a bit more clipping, then I think I'm going to glue it on, because then I can kind of figure out which axe is going to work best with this guy. Yeah, I think the axe and sword finalized. I mean, like I said, I don't want to end up overthinking it, because that's usually what I do. Because I was still thinking like, I should have gone for dual axes, just because it would have been cool. Yeah. I mean, again, it's not too late, so if you guys have any suggestions, like I could look at the spears for because I got the ones from the Horus Heresy, but I don't know if the aesthetic of the I can't speak, Horus Heresy ones really will suit it. I'm not too sure. Is this going to fit yet? I think as good as it's gonna get, I think. If it doesn't work later, I can always do a bit more trimming. So let's just glue this bad boy on, and then we can kind of figure out the next steps. So which way does he fit, like that? There we go. I think that's the way he's supposed to look. Yeah. Yeah, because that hides the sling bit here at the back. So I'm going to put a bit of glue back here. Yeah, green stuffing some feathers on there would be a good shout as well, actually. Green stuff feathers are pretty easy to do. I mean, when they're on a spear, if they're like hanging, I will have to like let them dry instead and then glue them on afterwards. Just kind of depends on how I do it. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't sure of using this because of the Tyranid bits on it. But like I said, in my head canon for this guy, is the armor stuff he's got on here not actually Tyranids. They're bits from Krakens from the oceans of Fenris. So he goes out and he battles sea beasts and he just puts them on his armor as trophies. So it doesn't. So it's not exactly Tyranid themed, if you know what I mean, in my head. It's like I was talking to someone the other day about how Space Wolves, a lot of people do Space Wolves with snow, including myself, which doesn't really make sense when 99.9% of the time they're not fighting on a snowy planet. But my headcanon for it, especially with the Rune Priest video I did on Friday, because he summons storms, and my idea is wherever they go, he's just summoning Fenris with him. So they got snowy bases because the Psyker guys are summoning storms. So yeah, that's my kind of my headcanon reason for them being on snow bases, I guess. And what got me into the hobby, Escher? I don't know. I've always enjoyed making stuff, and then I think it's like when was it? 2012, maybe a bit later or something like that. I went into a Games Workshop store that was the Dark Vengeance starter kit back then. Yeah, like the Everwinter Chaos, Kevin, from the Ogre tribes, if that's what you're talking about. But yeah, back to I got into it because I bought the Dark Vengeance kit, not Dark Vengeance. Yeah, it was Dark Vengeance with my friend in university, and we went split seas. But then he eventually didn't want to do it, and he gave me the whole kit. And I had the Chaos side originally, by the way, best Chaos models Games Workshop's ever made. And I kitbashed the Dark Angels into Chaos Marines. Even then, I didn't really know what the Fallen were back in those days. So even my first ever project was a kitbash thing, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I've been in the hobby pretty much since then. Yeah, I've kind of lost track of what I was doing now, chatting too much. Yeah, what do you guys think of this axe? Is it... does it work? I'm not sure. Yeah, so if you look at that, I don't know if you guys can see. Does this axe work, or is it too much? I feel like maybe the wolf pelt needs to get cut off. Now, that's a really cool idea, naming them after like Fenrisian beasts and stuff like that for your vehicles. Yeah, I think this could work, this axe, the way it's angled and stuff. Yeah, I've got some bits from the Ogre tribes, like the what they call the Beast Claw Raiders, and I got a lot of like giant mammoth tusks and stuff like that. So I'll definitely put that on some tanks in the future. You guys think the axe works? It's a bit too much, but it works for Space Wolves? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, no. Maybe I'm trying to think. I don't have any other axes that really fit there without a lot of extra work. Let me have a look. Let's see. And what are your guys' thoughts on putting a shield on this guy? I'm thinking possibly too much putting a shield on his back because he's already got the combi bolter as well. Yeah, sure. It's a very quick downward spiral getting into this hobby. One minute you're like, oh, I'm gonna try buy this little kit, and next minute you know, like you got an entire cupboard worth of stuff. Yeah, people are liking the shield. I wasn't too sure about. Oh, we just dropped that. No on the shield. Yeah, like I said, I'm a bit iffy on it. And also, maybe keeping it WYSIWYG, maybe it's not the best idea. I mean, he would be super over the top and ready for battle with all the weapons he's got on him, but anyway, let's focus on the axe for now. Let's not overcomplicate things. Let's clean this up so it fits. Yeah, I think talking about going back to getting into the hobby, I started with kitbashing the Dark Vengeance stuff into a Nurgly Chaos army. But then I think I went and traveled and I lived abroad for a while, and I came back. I think Age of Sigmar's almost said season 1, first edition came out. And that was my first like proper army when I actually started playing the game. I used to go into the store every week and play, and that was with my skeleton death rattle army. So those were good days. And yeah, I've not really played much 40k over the years, so this is why I'm doing this army now, hoping that I can actually get some 40k games in. Ooh. All right, let me just clean this up a little bit, then we'll glue it down. You're starting Stormcast. The Stormcast are cool, and I've quite often, like, I'm not a massive fan of Stormcast, like bog standard, but they same thing as Primaris Marines. They're boring, but they have a nice kind of flat piece of blank paper you can kitbash on top of, so I think it'd be quite interesting. Chaos Kevin, having to rebase that many skeletons sounds painful. I remember I still got my Death Rattle stuff, but yeah, I remember painting up that many dudes. I mean, they're easy to do because they're skeletons, but yeah. Let's see. I think I can glue this on without much snipping, so let's just go for it. Now, this is probably not going to be the best kitbash work I've ever done, but I'll say it's good enough. Let's go. Come on, glue down. It's a bit of a weird angle. Let's get a bit of glue on the bottom here, so that sticks on there. Sorry, I'll catch up with chat in a second. I'm just trying to figure out this bit, make sure it's looking all right. Yeah, I think that's looking okay. I don't know, before the glue sets, what do you guys think of the axe and sword? Because I can pop both off, because that's the beauty of plastic glue. Should I remove the the little wolf tail on the axe, or do you guys think just leave it like that? I think it's probably okay. There's kind of like something I want to do if I do these streams going forward. I kind of like the idea of just you guys helping me choose things as I go along instead of me just planning it out beforehand. I think it'll be more fun that way. Well, Freeman, if you still have your beastmen, I guess they're fine for Old World now, because unfortunately, I think some people have put them onto circular bases, and then years later they get removed from Age of Sigmar, then back into Fantasy, or Old World, so that's slightly annoying, I guess. What's that? The wolf tail looks fitting somehow. Okay, that's good to hear. So we're going to stick with this for now. And the next choice, I guess, is just going to be the head option. Now, one thing I did realize, I haven't put a little blade handle in that holster there, because obviously he doesn't have one out in his hand. He's got one on the floor. So that is a bit of a problem, trying to get that in there, but I don't know, I can try and fix that later maybe. Yeah, I mean, burning your entire army because the game system changed is like, I get it's frustrating, but like, you're just burning your own money. Like, that makes no sense at all. Like, sell it on? You're just spiting yourself at that point. Yeah, I really like the Beastmen, so I've been quite tempted by them a few times. Alright, Esha, thanks again for being in the chat. It was good. And like, oh, well, good chatting, and I'll see you in the Discord then. Have a good one, man. And yeah, I agree with you, Polyarox. I can't pronounce that name. Yeah, it does feel a bit over the top. It wasn't what I was planning. Like I said, I was originally thinking of just doing dual, like little plain axes like this to give him like kind of like a Viking vibe. And I've ended up somehow with a power sword and a power axe. I don't know why I've ended up doing that, but it's okay. Yeah, I've wanted to do some like Beastmen, like chaosy kitbashers, because you know they pop up in. I think one of the new combat patrols has some more Beastmen in it, and they do look really cool. Got a little bit of plastic over here. All right, let's glue this guy onto his base so I have something to actually hold on to a little bit better. Because I will change the base up at some point, but I'll glue him on there for now. Where's my glue? Yeah, Chaos Kevin as well. Talking about different factions from fantasy and stuff. I saw your Skaven 40k Kitbash, and that was pretty awesome. That model you chose from the Necromunda thing just fit them perfectly with the little, like, how the armor looked and everything. Let's see if I can squeeze this down without damaging anything. Yeah, Slaves to Darkness, if I started Age of Sigmar, which I do have some Slave to Darkness stuff, that would be the army for me. But I wouldn't mind doing them for Old World as well. Why is this not fitting? I don't want to squeeze too hard. I probably should. There we go. Let me clean that up a little bit with some Tamiya extra thin. Always there to save me. Okay, if I could ever be sponsored by anybody, that would be nice because I use so much of this stuff. All right. Yeah, Old World is looking tempting to me, to be honest, and I think a lot of places near me are getting quite popular with it. That's not English, but you know what I'm saying. It's becoming quite popular, and I am tempted to do the dwarves. All right, onto the head option, guys. Let's have a look. What do you guys think of this guy? At first, I thought maybe it was a bit too over the top and yelly, but I don't know. And I wasn't planning on doing like a pelt on this guy's like loinclothy bit, but I think I might have to now. He's starting to feel a bit too busy to not have it. So yeah, let me know on this head option. Like, I actually kind of feel like it's working. Let's see what else I've got. Have a good one, Chaos Kevin. Enjoy your nightly round of Dark Tide. That's a game I've not played, but I would like to. Yeah, sorry. Alternative head options. I keep getting distracted. We've got Mr. Bald Man with the goggle eyeball thing. Yeah, I need to actually just get my blue tack out because I'm trying to show you guys this is a pain in the ass. Come on, I can do it. Yeah, so bald head, old man. I'm kind of feeling the more over the top one now, to be honest. I wasn't thinking about it at first, but got this one from the Horus Heresy again. Got a bit of like a mohawk with the hair going down. And what else have we got? Got this one when he's got a little braid. This is quite a cool head. And yeah, I think this one might be my next best option. So let's call this one number 3. So you guys can comment in the thing below. Well, in the live chat. I keep forgetting this is live chat. So yeah, this one. Don't know if. Yeah, so we got first one and third one. So yeah, I do agree that the first one's got that cocky young guy vibe, which kind of fits the theme of this guy with the dual blades, super over the top. But I am liking the third one though. That's tricky. Need some more votes. Let's see what number 4 brings us. No, is this the same one? No, it's the same one. Never mind. I do have obviously I got loads of head options here, but let's see. No, this one doesn't work. It's a bit too passive. Actually, it's not too bad. But I feel like more of a yelly face probably works a bit better. Let's see, if I go close to the camera, does it focus well or not? Yeah, so probably not that one. Yeah, I'm still thinking maybe the number 1 or number 3. This one works as well, actually. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, Beowulf is a pretty good name for it. Now I'm getting confused because this head works really well as well. Damn it. Alright, let's not rummage through them all because we'll end up liking them. Oh, sorry about the noise there. So again, let's go from the top. You guys can let me know. So let's go for number 1. So obviously this is going to be a very important part of the model. So we got super angry, bellowing hair, cocky young guy with dual blades. This kind of vibe this guy's giving off. So that's number 1. Number 2, slightly more veteran. Dude with a beard and everything. though his head doesn't fit as nicely. So that's number 2. I think that was the option, wasn't it? Are those two the same? Getting confused now. And then number 3, this guy. He's kind of like a mix between the two, I feel. So yeah, let me know between the 3 of them. So this is number 3 here. Don't know why I'm kind of feeling this one. I feel like I said he's kind of a mix between the 2 previous ones. Has a bit of a veteran vibe, but also kind of, you know. So yeah, I got 2 votes for number 3. Yeah, because I think maybe this guy seems a bit too young and brash. Yeah, I'm kind of digging this one, so maybe I'll go for this Mr. Space Wolves head over here. Also, because I'm kind of, this is my first ever proper stream, is anything you guys would like me to improve in the future if I do more of these, and if you want to watch more of these? Like, do I add background music and stuff like that? I'm not really a guy that watches many streams, so I don't know how people do this sort of stuff. So I don't know if just listening to me breathing is a bit awkward. Ooh, the head takers. I didn't even think about the kits from the head takers. I mean, the heads from the head takers. That could be a good shout. That's a good shout, Glock. Let me have a quick look. I think I might have the head taker kits lying around here close by, so I don't have to run away for too long. But let's chuck a bit of blue tack onto this just so we can... Oh, thanks, Freeman. I mean, your first live stream. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's cool. Like I said, my first time. But yeah, I'll try and figure it out, guys. Like I feel like a bit of an old man when it comes to stuff like this, trying to figure out how to stream and add music and stuff like that. But yeah, can I zoom? No, I can't zoom on the live stream. Oh, I can. It's just very delayed. Oh, let me 1 second. So I'm playing around with the zoom for a second here. Is it gonna focus? Doesn't seem to want to focus with the super zoom, so I'll go back. But yeah, so anyway, once again playing around. And what was I saying before? Yeah, adding music and stuff like that. I'll definitely try and figure all that out. But I am digging this head, so I'm going to quickly see if I can find the head takers one, see if that works. But so far, I'm thinking this is a winner. I'm digging the vibe of this guy. But he definitely needs something down here. I think like a loincloth. Also maybe some more trinkets, because the top feels very heavy and it needs to get balanced out a bit more. It's going to be over the top, but... And I might not do this stream because it's already getting quite late, but yeah, I think it's looking okay. Right, let me see if I can find my head takers kits. I got so many bits lying around here because obviously I'm doing the weekly releases, so I've just got piles and piles of miniatures lying around for every model I'm working on. Hi, the Black Lotus. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, this is kind of the result so far. It's not what I was planning on doing, but I'm kind of getting everybody to kind of let me know what they think. So this is the head option I'm thinking of so far, but it's not glued in. We kind of just blue tacked it for now to see where it goes. The Space Wolves belt girdle thing, that won't fit in there, unfortunately, unless I chop away these bags and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be a lot of work to get that in there. But yeah, Black Lotus, let me know what you think so far. Like I said, everyone's had their input so far on the weapons and everything. The head hasn't been glued in just yet, so... yeah, let's see. I've got... I don't want to rummage around too much, because like I said, I don't want to bore you guys to death. I don't know where my head takers are. Yeah, this might end up taking a while. I've also got this this little portable hobby shelf, or I don't know what you would call it. Hey, I think this is the head you're talking about right here. What's the chances of that? Yeah, so anytime I've got some like free time to work on my Space Wolves, they've all fallen over now, but yeah, I've got them all kind of like on here. Like I said, I just bumped them all over, so yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Yeah, I found the head straight away, so that was quite lucky. Maybe it's destiny. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm still kind of feeling the first one, but let's see what this guy looks like. Yeah, that head does look cool, but I think, yeah, I'm still feeling the first one. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments, because this is a very cool head. I feel like he should be saved for another project. I think this would make a nice Viking biker looking helmet. Head. I don't know. See what you guys think. I'm still kind of going for this one at the moment. I feel like it fits a lot better. And while I'm waiting for you guys to comment, I still got to clean up this little bit down here, which is frustrating me. Just trying to get to it now that I've put all the bits in there. Okay, so you like the one with the eye patch. Yeah, I do dig it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm contemplating now, but yeah, what else? But before I glue the head on, any other suggestions on what I should add to this guy? Because I'm thinking of adding like some sort of loincloth onto this or something just to bulk out the bottom here, because it definitely feels like it needs it. So any suggestions on that? I would go for green stuff, but obviously I can't do it on stream because I need the loincloth bit to dry before I can put the green stuff fur on it, so that won't be possible today. I kind of wanted to get it done in the stream if I could, which obviously means no green stuff work, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe some just like toothy trinkets, that could work really well. Ooh, I do have, you know, like those little diamond-shaped trinkets you always see. There's obviously like wolfy talisman things, whatever you want to call them. Let's just grab one of these I've got lying on the side. I feel like that kind of takes up the Kraken claw thing a bit too much. So no, I'm not feeding that. Let's see, what else have I got here? I've got this white scars bit. Don't know if that will fit there or not. Yeah, not really feeling that part. Yeah, I was thinking like, I could just do a rune, but if you guys think I should do some green stuff fur on, like a loincloth, let me know. Like, I probably won't be able to do it today, but I could always come back to it. Ah, there we go. I found the piece I was looking for. Like I said, I'm working on so many projects at the moment, I've just got bits lying all over my desk. What's that? Yeah, that white scar bit is really cool. I do like it. What about this? Just nice, simple and easy. Just a little trinket there. But again, I don't know if we're hiding that tooth claw thing too much. So I don't know. Maybe this thing? So I don't know. You guys let me know. Put a little simple trinket there, or should I do the green stuff loincloth fur thingy in the future? Because I feel like that would look really nice having a little furry loincloth there. And I think I'm just going to glue this head on. Yeah, I'm feeling like a little loincloth pelt would probably be the best fit. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that as well. All right, let me glue this head on at least, because I think I'm gonna stay with that one. Let's not overthink it. Ooh. So yeah, let's go for this head. Now this guy doesn't necessarily fit in with my current army project, and like doing the Terminators and stuff, and then eventually the fast attack guys, but I do want to have an army of pretty much everything at some point. So I don't know. I might keep this guy. I might sell him on. Who knows? I'll see how I feel at the end of it. I'm currently selling a lot of my kitbash and stuff on eBay just to kind of supplement the weekly videos at the moment. I think I'm going to go for that because he's kind of like, I don't know if you guys can see on the camera there, staring straight down. I think that will work. Yeah, but definitely needs the pelt because, like I said, it's very busy up top. So yeah, let me know what you guys think below. Oh, I keep saying below, I'm so used to it. Just let me know what you guys think of this guy so far. Is he coming across as a sweet little Kraken Hunter, a whirlwind of blades? Thanks, Freeman. That's always cool to hear, man. I've done a lot of Space Wolfy stuff in the past, but I've definitely been putting more effort in with this new army project and stuff like that. And I do enjoy doing them. Lieutenant Badass. It is pretty badass. Right, I think because this guy's so busy already, I don't think there's much more I can add to this guy. Yeah, there's like literally no space to add stuff to this guy here. It could add a little like brass rune onto his weapon, but I'll kind of just use a decal transfer thing for that. Does he need anything on his backpack here, or is it again maybe too much? Like one of those little, what do you call them, the wolfen things? Do I have one lying around here like this? I feel like, yeah, I feel like maybe that's too much. Like if you look at it like that, I feel like it doesn't quite fit the vibe of this guy too well. But again, let me know in the comments. Or in chat. I keep saying comments, I'm not used to this live streaming thing. I mean, personally, I'm feeling like all he needs now is a loincloth. I don't want to overdo it. Yeah, I'm not feeding a bone totem as well. I'm just kind of spitballing there, but yeah, it doesn't feel right for this guy. Right, what I will do is, because it is 10:30 here in the UK, so it's not too late, I think I'll do some green stuff. I'll do the loincloth on this dude. You guys can watch me try and do that on a stream. That's going to be interesting. And Yeah, because unfortunately I won't be able to do the hair today, though, the fur, I mean. So I'm going to remove this bit over here so I can start doing some green stuff. Nope, if I don't drop everything. Let's clean my table up here a little bit. Alright, let me get my green stuff out. Like I said, I had this model like wasn't planned at all, so I'm just kind of winging it at the moment. Let's see how this goes. Alright. I just changed my blade over for my scalpely thing as well. I'm going to make that one all rusty and blunt now. Let's get my dirty paint water over here. Now this green stuff is pretty old. I've had it a while now. So I keep having to like leave this bit here because it's kind of like fused. So I use the edge bits. Yeah, I need to buy some new ones. Trying to see if I can find my other hobby knife so I don't make my fresh blade a bit dull. Let's see. Where is it? And I'll need my silicone shapers as well. Let's get this one out, even though it's getting a bit damaged now. I need to get a new one. Yeah, that's correct. Right, let's do this. Yeah, this roll is definitely seen some stuff, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean this bit here is still like usable. Like I say, I've had this lying around for such a long time. I think last year I had like what 6 months or something where I didn't do a video or anything like that. So this green stuff was just lying around for that, plus however long I had it before that. So yeah, it's not. It goes hard very quickly, so it's not the best with sculpting. I've been struggling with it recently, but I don't like to waste, so I'm going to use it. I'll probably end up finding some hard bits even in this bit. Like, see, even squishing it is hard. Like, usually mixing it up isn't that bad. Right, wet hands. Let's do this thing. Like I say, it's usually not supposed to be this tough. Yeah, I mean, it depends on, like, sometimes you might buy new green stuff, but how long has it been sat on the shelf, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get the green stuff that's got the gap down the middle, so the middles don't kind of fuse together. But, yeah, this will soften up, obviously, once I've mixed it together. Yeah, it's weird how everyone's got different techniques for mixing up green stuff. I've even seen some people just chew it before, which is, to me, is just insane. Like, why would you do that? So, almost there. Yeah, well, let's see. I probably should chuck some milliput in this as well, but it's just a small detail, so I'm not going to go too over the top. Yeah, I've seen some of the green stuff where like the blue and the yellow, whatever's separate. I need to get some of that. That'll be my next purchase once this green stuff is done, or when I decide to just get rid of it because it's just a pain in the ass to use. Because recently I have been struggling with some of my green stuff work with how tough the stuff is. Well, I will say this model is not what I was intending when I originally thought about making it, but it's turning out alright so far. I think that might be mixed up enough. Usually when I'm building like the loincloth bit and then I'm going to build fur onto it, I like to mix in a bit of milliput just to harden it up a bit. But like I said, because it's just a small bit, it should be fine. If I'm doing like a cape or whatever, I'll definitely do the milliput. Oh yeah, if you haven't tried the green put or whatever you want to call it, like mixing green stuff and milliput together, that stuff's a game changer. It's so good. It blends and smooths out, especially if you're doing like cloth and you want to do some like fold and stuff. There's nothing better than it. Well, I'm sure there is a lot of stuff better than it, but for my limited hobby knowledge, I'm not like a master sculptor. I just do very rudimentary things. I'm the working man. I just like anything that can make an army have some flavor, but it's not like master character building stuff. Yeah, I think Green Stuff World does the one where they're like separate, but I haven't made an order from them in many, many years. So, all right, let's roll this bad boy out. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know what I'm doing here. So, just watching it live. It's kind of, yeah, definitely try the green putt. Like I said, depending on what you're doing, it's so good. Like it dries harder than green stuff, but it blends out and smooths so much better. I think that's a decent length, but it's probably a bit too thick. Let's thin it out a little bit. I feel slightly like weird doing this on a live stream because I'd usually be taking my time and thinking everything out. Yeah, if you're doing cloth and flash, then green put's definitely the way to go. You don't like green stuff is not the best for that sort of thing. Let's see. What sort of style do we want to have? Well, that bit's like going that way, so if we want to have a bit of a ripple to it, I don't know. Let's get the rough shape out first, and because this is a leathery cloth with fur on later, so it's not going to be not cloth, I should say. Let's say about there. Seems like it might be alright. Let's see. Then I can trim it down a bit. You can always take more off, but you can't put more on. Well, you can, but you have to re-roll it. Okay. There's our base shape so far. Now, when I put it there, you can see it's a bit too big. Might actually be okay. So I'm not too bothered about getting fingerprints in it at the moment, because like I said, it will be covered up with fur. So let's see. It's kind of difficult to gauge while I'm holding it, so let's chuck it on this knife. Come on. So everything's more difficult to do when you're trying to make sure you're actually like doing it fine on live stream. What do you guys think? Is that a decent length, or should it be a bit shorter? I think width-wise, it's probably okay. I can maybe trim it down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could have it like tucked under those belts, or we can go over. Then again, this is just the base. It's not. Yeah, it seems a bit long. Yeah, I think so. There will be fur over it, so we can later add a bit of different stuff on. But let's go maybe like that. Come on. Why aren't you cutting? And then trim a bit from here. Like I said, this old green stuff is very tough. It doesn't want to cut very well. Let's have a look at this one, see if this is a better shape and length now. Let me think. I think the width is fine now. I'm just trying to think if it should be a bit shorter. I think it's looking okay. Could do maybe a little bit less. I'll let you guys catch up on the comments and let me know. But I think I'm kind of feeling it, so maybe I'll go with it. Nope, just bumped my light. Yeah, let's just stick it down and kind of figure it out as we go. So let's go for it. Yeah, because I don't know if I should go over the belts. There will be... Yeah, yes, let's go for it. Now I do want this to go under the... This might still be a bit too thick, to be honest. I want this to go underneath this thing here. So just get that so it's underneath there and then push it back. Yeah, like I say, if you... I don't know if you said yours has got like the middle missing out of it, but sometimes when the middle's like the where it touches, you'll always get little hard bits in it. It happens to me as well. I quite often have to pick those bits out. It's just kind of how it works, unfortunately. Like I said, this green stuff is a bit on the thicker side, but because it's not milliput mix, I kind of need a bit thicker to put the fur on later, which unfortunately won't be today. Yes, I'm going to have to let it dry, unfortunately, because it won't work otherwise. Yeah, I cut the middle out, and I sometimes still get those yellow bits. Like, so I've been doing it recently, and I still get them. So it's just a part that happens with the green stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, okay. So obviously, I'm going to be working on this and adding fur on, but just the general length and shape. What do you guys think so far? Like I said, it looks messy now, but it will look fine once the fur's on there. Obviously, like at the bottom is a bit rounded, which doesn't look good, but yeah. Yeah, it's all good, Freeman. Like I said, that's just, it happens to me all the time. I constantly have to, I'll roll it out like this that I've done on this bit here, and then I'll find loads of little yellow bits and I'm going to have to like pick out and re-roll it, so it is annoying. Oh, sorry, I had to stop for a drink there. I've been talking for hours. I'm usually just in my little hobby room quietly on my own, and I'm just waffling non-stop. Alright, let's try blend this out a little bit better here. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I said, I've gone way more over the top than I was originally planning, so I need something big and chunky at the bottom just to kind of balance it all out. So let's get this maybe going a little bit to that side. Like I said, I want this crackly tooth to stand out a little bit, so I'm going to push that in, because I don't want to lose that detail though completely anyway. And if you are doing green stuff work, definitely invest in some of these. I think they're called color shapers. Yeah, color shapers. Some people call them silicon shapers. And again, these are game changers when you're doing any sort of sculpting work. You get different types of tips and stuff like that as well. So much easier. Yeah, I think that's looking a little bit better. Like I said, I don't want to lose that bit there because there's quite a nice little detail. Squish that in there a bit more, flatten it out. Yeah, like so when I got color shapers, it was definitely a game changer for me. For years, even while doing the channel, I'd be using like the most like bog standard stuff like toothpicks and paintbrushes and stuff like that to do most of my work because I just didn't want to buy stuff. I mean, like I've shown before, I mean, look at my clippers, for example. Like, I'm in desperate need of a new one, but yeah, I just keep using it. And yeah, I'm still trying to get this bit here to look a little bit better. There will be fur on top again, so don't need to stress too much. Yeah, and basically within a couple of minutes, you got yourself a little loincloth. Now, if I wanted just a loincloth, obviously I would have done it a lot thinner and then made the edges a bit more rough and stuff, but because this is just a base, keeping it nice and thick and rough. And then just get a bit of a blowingness in the wind, maybe. Don't know if that's too much. Let's pop this bit up here a little bit. Going from this angle. And that's too much. I don't think leather pelts blow that much in the wind. I think that's maybe the general shape for it. So yeah, we'll see how this guy turns out. So anyway, again, what do you guys think? Length and position and stuff, keeping in mind that it will be covered in fur. Is it going too much to that way? You should kitbash one right now. It's actually a really, really cool kit. I'm quite digging it. Like, so this guy's, I think he's gonna have to end up in my army. I'm liking it. Yeah, one thing I do want to do is, you know, the new Space Wolf Scouts. Obviously, they're just like Phobos. I don't know how you pronounce Phobos armored guys. So I kind of want to buy that kit and maybe do a video on just taking some Phobos bodies are lying around and using the different guns and stuff like that to kind of bulk it out. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think, you know, getting double the unit for half the price. Weirdly, lone wolves were actually like one of the main things that got me into Space Wolves. I remember reading the Codex back in the day, and I just thought the concept of the lone wolves was so cool. And then obviously they disappeared in the Codex now, so it's unfortunate. Working on Thunderwolf Cavalry right now, using intercessors as riders. I've thought of that as well, but again, like I'll be working on my fast attack stuff on my like phase 2, I guess. So we might get to that eventually. I'm doing the Terminator stuff at the moment and Dreads because one, I've always wanted it, and two, it's just quicker to get the army done, get 1,000 points. Thoughts on Russ's inevitable return? I mean, hell yeah. I've been waiting years for that. I'm really excited for it. I mean, if he came back as like an old psyker dude, that could be a really interesting way. I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, is he going to come back like almost like a half wolfen kind of vibe?" And I hope they don't. I don't want like werewolf Russ. I want old man, like Thor kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Building up some centurions. I've never had any of those, but they do look like cool, chunky boys. But yeah, like a more psycho based, rugged old version of Rust would just be absolutely amazing. I'd love that. Yeah, Lone Wolves are spectacular. I really wish they'd bring them back. That's actually not a, you know that new, what do they call it, now you guys have got me wanting to do a video now. You know the Crucible of Champions that have just been released? Right, I'm actually, I was just thinking like, I wonder if I could use that rule set to make just a custom character like a Lone Wolf. I need to look at the rules for that. That would be a really, really fun thing to do. Damn, now you guys have got me wanting to do that. And I remember the Lone Wolves could be in Terminator armor as well, so it would fit into my current army. Oh, now I really want to do that now. Bringing back that old school flavor that got me into the hobby. Right, well, like I said, I can't really do any fur on this guy until this dries up, or sets, I should say. So I don't know what else to do. So I should have put my face cam on tonight so I can just sit here and chat with you guys, but I mean, if anybody has the rules for the new Crucible of Champions thing on hand and have any ideas on how to do that lone wolf thing, if not, I'll have to look it up myself later because now that's definitely got the hobby juices flowing. I definitely want to do that. Yeah, I'm trying to think how I can maybe add fur onto this without moving it around too much because I kind of want to get this done tonight, but yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I'm trying to think if I can like push the green stuff on one end just so it doesn't move, but I don't know. That's worth a try. It's not going to look very good, but yeah, like I said, I'm definitely going to have to look at those Crucible of Champions rules to do that now. I'm gonna have to rearrange my entire army list just to do this now, but then again, I don't know what the points are for Crucible of Champions, so that's way too big. I need to cut that. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's going to work anyway, but let's give it a go. Let's see. Can I do this with soft green stuff? Probably not. Now, if I stick my pinky in there, can I... No, I think I'm just going to wreck this if I try and do this now. Yeah, it's not going to work. Boo. I really wanted to get this model finished with you guys tonight. That's a bummer. What's that? I play solo war games. What sort of solo war games do you play? Do you mean like Fallout? That kind of stuff, like Fallout Factions, and was it Fallout Wasteland Warfare or something like that? Right. Well, if I'm not going to do any more fur tonight, I don't know if, like, say, if you guys have got any ideas of what green stuff I can do to this dude before I get rid of the green stuff. I mean, I could put some straps and stuff on him, but again, I feel like he's a bit too busy for anything else. He's got a lot of straps on him already and belts and all that. Although I do feel like he needs some sort of toothy talisman maybe over here. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Let's have a look what I've got. Let's see. Do I have any toothy things lying around? Not seeing anything. I'm gonna go to green stuff, I guess. Yeah, I was thinking something runic on his shotgun as well. Okay, so you play 40k and stuff like that. So is it like a... I'm guessing there's rule sets out there that people have made for it. I've never really done anything like that. I do own Fallout Factions and Fallout Wasteland Warfare, but unfortunately, in my local hobby store, nobody plays, so it's something I'd like to play. I mean, I could play on my own, I think. Also, I've just realized, I think there might be a massive delay in the chat at the moment, so if I'm replying slow, I do apologize. Yeah, Space Wolves are, apart from maybe Death Watch, Space Wolves are the ultimate, in my opinion, kit-bashing army. Like I said earlier in the stream, in the lore, every guy is his own character. They're all trying to be the biggest, baddest next hero. You know, some guys have got crazy hairdos and trinkets. No one's, you know, Ultra means every dude has to wear the standard power armor. Like Space Wolves, you can kind of just do what you want, so you can cover your body even from the lowliest blood claw, so in like furs and pelts. Yeah, that's true. Chaos is a good shout. I do find the standard Space Marines are slightly more difficult to kit bash though, because they're so busy already, but there's always stuff you can do with them. Two-hour war games rule set. Yeah, I've never heard of that stuff, but like I said, I don't really play solo stuff, never really have. And right now, all my time is just, like I say, doing these kit bashes and videos and stuff, so no time for games, but hopefully by the time this army's done, I will have some time to play. I'd like to go to like Warhammer World or something and play with it. But you guys let me know if you want me to add anything else or any ideas, because right now I'm just kind of chatting. I know it's probably some boring visuals here, but I'm just kind of chatting out because I can't think of much else to do at the moment. Although I do need another sip of my very cold tea. I don't know. I feel like we can all agree that Death Watch are the ultimate kit bashing army when you talk about Marines anyway. Because I mean, you can literally do every single chapter. I mean, some of the Death Watch videos I did in the past, I even did Chaos Marines, but as loyalists, like the... What's the Word Bearers one? Actually, I think I got it nearby. 1 second. Let me go grab it. It's not completed painted because it's... Yeah. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe like I could do fur on the top here, like they kind of do in the Wolf Scouts, but I feel like that's probably, again, maybe too much, but it could work actually. Double fur. Let me know. Before the green stuff dries up anyway. But yeah, this is a guy I did years and years ago on the channel for my Death Watch army, and obviously, as you can see, it's not finished, but yeah, this was kind of like a loyalist black shield, so like I say, Death Watch are just so fun to do. So he's kind of like a word bearer, but he's loyalist, so I don't know. I quite like it with a little book and everything. Well, 2 books. I've actually been selling on a lot of my Death Watch stuff, but sometimes when I look at them, I'm like, yeah, it'd be nice to actually just finish them up. And this guy's pretty simple, but I always enjoyed this one, the Dark Angel Librarian. Yeah, this guy's like say a simple kitbash, but always enjoyed this one. So I sometimes think I should get back to my Deathwatch videos. Yeah, thanks guys. I really did enjoy this Wordbearer guy. I think it's one of my favorite older kitbashes. Now, I probably could go back and do more to it and stuff like that, but especially finish painting it. But yeah, I do really like this one. And yeah, this is what I don't know if you guys were in the stream earlier, but I was talking about Space Wolves don't really look that great on snow bases. Like, I feel like I went a bit too over the top on the icy cold vibe with this guy that I did on Friday. But I don't know, I need to rethink my basing scheme, so I might have to pop this guy off at some point. But it might also be because he's got a lot of white glowing stuff on him, so maybe that's kind of affecting it. But yeah, this is the guy that's going to be summoning the storms, so everybody can be on their snowy bases. Also, fun fact, after I released this video, I realized he's got this little gem on his shoulder over here that I didn't paint. So, and I didn't finish the one on here either, so yeah, that's slightly annoying. I have to go back and finish that up. Yeah, like I said, the snow bases do look good, but yeah, they don't really pop on the armor. Like it'd be better with like say a Mars base or something. Right. Well, I can't do any green stuff on this. Do I add green stuff fur onto his backpack here, kind of like how the Space Wolf Scouts, or will that be too much? I kind of need to look at what they look like, but I can't remember now. Yeah, what I used to do if I ever had too much green stuff is I'll just like have random heads lying around that I can green stuff some beards on. But recently, I'll show you guys quick. When I've got leftover green stuff, I've got my Leagues of Votan army lying at the side. And I'll slowly, every time I've got a bit of green stuff left over, I'll just add these little craters and little like pock marks and stuff to the bases. I mean, I've got a bigger one here. Yeah, I don't own the new scouts, but I've seen them online, obviously, and they've got like fur on top of their backpacks. But yeah, I say like this is another one where, like, say every time you can see the different types of green stuff here. Every time I got a bit of green stuff, I just slowly build out the basing on this. Yeah, I don't want to waste green stuff. But yeah, I also have some blue stuff that I've made some molds of some bits, which I can actually get. I want to try maybe use quickly. Yeah, I can only find this one, but it's like a bit of a mold of a kit I made here. And what I'll do is, I don't know how dusty this is. It's been a while since I've used it. And I don't know if this is enough green stuff, but I'll just pop this in here. And then you let that dry or set, and then you can pop it out tomorrow, and you've got a little replica bit. Just squeeze it in nicely in there. Make sure you get into all the nooks and crannies. Yeah, like I said, that's another thing I do with my spare green stuff. I have two pieces of this blue stuff where I've made, like I said, molds of little small trinkets and that, so I can, like, little skulls and that. So for example, I actually got some right here. It's like these wolf skulls. Every time I got some leftover green stuff, I'll do that, and all I do is I just cut the green stuff around, and I've got another wolf skull trinket to work on, because you know, I run out of bits very quick, so I like to replicate small stuff like this. Yeah, I got a few of them. Like I said, I've got this one where I put some like green put in there with this little wolf bear head thing. Yeah, that's right. Fenris does have seasons like they're icy a lot of the times, but sometimes they'll have like volcanic eruptions and stuff like that. So you could do lava bases for Space Wolves as well. Yeah, there's always ways, like I said, you can save your green stuff because everybody always makes too much green stuff. At least what I do. So, like, say you can do little bits like this, do some basing bits, whatever. But yeah, so I think, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to call the miniature there because there's not much more I can really do to refine it right now. Like I said, I can clean some bits up, but that's gonna be boring for you guys. And yeah, I guess, and just sitting here chatting is probably gonna be boring, so I might hop off in a minute. Not boring, but I mean boring for you guys to look at. Because I enjoy having a chat. Because I could see that the chat's dropping down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, again, let me know what you guys think of this guy. Would you like me to like bring him back in a future stream to do the fur, finish him off? Any other details you think I should add? Yeah, I don't actually know the official name for this stuff. What is it called? I think it's got some sort of like Japanesey name. I can't remember, but I just call everybody just calls it blue stuff. And yeah, you can just replicate loads of cool bits with it. Now, I'm not encouraging any actual, what do you call them, recast, because I mean, one, I don't like people that recast stuff, but also two, it's just going to look terrible, so don't do that. But yeah, for small little bits like that, and like say like these little skulls and these little bear bits and stuff like that, it's pretty much perfect for that. You never have enough of these things. Hello, Chaos Space Moran. Yeah, that's the name of it. Oyumaru? I'm not really sure how you pronounce that, but I thought it sounded something somewhat Japanesey. So yeah, like I say, once this is dried up, I'll end up having like another one of these little wolf head things, which I quite often, not quite often, but I've a few times used. Like I'll put on a shoulder pad or something like that, and then green stuff fur around it. Like I did, I think I did that with my Horus Heresy guy. I'll grab that one for you quick just to show you an example of it. Yeah, I probably should work on my Japanese, yeah. Yeah, Dark Krakens is a cool chapter actually. Now that I'm thinking of it, I probably should have saved this model for a Dark Krakens kitbash. But as of right now, he's going to be part of my Space Wolves, like Sea Raider, Kraken Hunter kind of things. But now that I'm thinking about it, because I've done this pelt, and I was going to wait for it to dry so I can do some fur on it. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have done like, maybe I could still do Kraken scales. Maybe there's some sort of like Krakeny, like lizardy armor. I don't really know. Maybe I'll just stick with fur. Again, you guys let me know. Yeah, I want to go quickly grab my Horus Heresy Wolf Lord, just so I can show some of the blue stuff work I've done on that one. All right, yeah, don't judge this paint job because this is a terrible, incomplete paint job here. But yeah, this project took me so long. Yeah, scales. I think scales on that dude would look. I think it would look really, really cool. And once it's dried up, it's definitely something I'm gonna have to think about. But yeah, you see this head on this guy here. Sorry, a bit of a delay in the chat there, but yeah, this head over here. This was replicated. You know, you can see here. Just use some blue stuff with some extra green stuff, made that, and then put it on there. Green stuff, some fur on it, and then boom, you got a super epic shoulder mount pelt thing. And he's a bit dusty. Yeah, unfortunately, this project took me a very long time to do, like customizing so many individual dudes, and yeah, the paint job on this is just absolutely terrible now that I'm looking at it. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Yeah, the armor color does look cool on this one. I mean, it's definitely more gritty than the... I mean, old Wolf Lord, most recent Rune Priest. There's definitely a difference in paint job, I'll say that. And definitely a difference in scale now that I'm looking at it. But I do want to go back to my heresy stuff eventually. Paint job is terrible, go to hell. Come on, man. That is pretty bad. I mean, there's no highlighting on it. It's just basically a base coat and a wash. And it was also my first time using, what's it called, streaking grime. So I like varnished the model, and I think I did too much. So these parts were like really thick and shiny, and I know close up it doesn't look really good. But I could go back to it in the future and upgrading, but I think there's new Cataphracti Terminators now, which probably look a lot bigger. Yeah, I'm the same, Freeman. I never really liked the kind of bluish armor on the Space Wolves. But after I did my old Space Wolves army, which were like Dawnstone Grey, I spent weeks and weeks getting that army done and then realizing they looked exactly the same as the sprue. So I was like, oh, that was a bit disheartening. So now with my new version of my Wolves army, I'm going for that kind of bluish color, but I'm trying to do like a bit of a transition with the airbrush, so maybe it has a bit more depth to it. I'm not sure. Oh, thanks, man. It's not actually freehand. That's just part of the model. I've just like put paint into the cracks, if that makes sense. So I didn't paint those lines on, if that's what you mean, because I definitely don't have that skill. Yeah, the grey is cool. I didn't mind the grey on this one because I used the streaking grime, so it's got, and I used a sponging technique, so it's got that kind of illusion of being battle worn, and it's got that bit of more like volumetric vibe to it, and then it's obviously dirty down, so it has a bit of a cool vibe to it. But yeah, definitely a project, like I said, I'll have to get back to at some point. Now that I'm thinking of it, I've actually got like 4 editions of my Space Wolves army, because I did a firstborn army back in the day, which was supposed to be like a giant Viking biker mob. And then I got rid of that when Primaris came out because I knew they were the future. I did my Primaris army, and then I did this one, the Heresy one, and now I'm again back to the Primaris kind of newer version. I mean, my older ones, like I said, they're just flat grey, and I might get some of them out just to show you guys as well, because like we're just kind of hanging out and chatting now. All right, I am back. Oh, thanks, guys. I'll show you my my older Space Wolves army, which I actually think maybe the basing's a little bit better on. But yeah, this was actually my first ever attempt at wet blending back in the day. And as you can see, I didn't go as far with the kit bashing back then because he's still got like the librarian stuff on there. But not too bad. Also got the glowy eyes and stuff similar to the guy I did on Friday. But looking at it now, maybe I do like the grey. I'm not really sure. Like looking at that grey now does look quite nice, maybe compared to the blue, but or blue-grey, whatever. And I mean, like I say, I'm not very proud of my older kit bashing, to be perfectly honest. They're not the best effort. But yeah, this is my older Marines. Like I might keep these guys, strip them. I'm not sure. I might sell them on. And one of the reasons why one of the dreads in my army saga is not so cool to be worked on is because I've actually got this guy done, and I was thinking I might just he's all creaky because hasn't been moved in years. I might just repaint this guy. So I don't know. But now that I'm like saying, well, now that I'm looking at it again, I kind of do like the the grey maybe more than the blue, which is not good because I don't want to be repainting things. But yeah, that's one of my additions of my Space Wolves army. It's gone through a lot of different phases. So yeah, and like I said, now that the blue-grey version is the latest one. That dread is pockets. Not sure what pockets means. Oh, and I've got my Sergeant Jovan Kitbash from many years ago. This is talking like, I don't know, 6 years ago now, maybe longer. But I remember back when I first did this, I was like, oh, I was super proud of this one. I mean, nothing is cooler than pockets, especially pocket monsters. Oh, maybe I'm old making Pokemon jokes. Oh, this guy's also a bit dusty, which is weird to say. I mean, the Pokemon thing, not that he's dirty. And yeah, also my first ever painted orc. But anyway, I think I'm probably just waffling on absolute nonsense now because, like I say, there's not much more I'm going to do with this guy. So I guess I'm going to shoot, guys, before it gets too late and things become too boring for you guys. But I really do appreciate you all turning in for the stream tonight. It was really fun. And if you'd like me to do more of these in the future, let me know. Well, I'll say future. I kind of want to do it every Sunday night. And I don't know, we had a good turnout tonight. So I think I think it might be a regular thing if people want it. And yeah, like I said, I definitely need to finish this guy as well. So, and he needs to get done in this, like maybe next Sunday. I could always do Tuesday nights. It's actually an easier night for me doing a Tuesday night. So, but yeah, I'll put a little poll out and see what people think maybe. But yeah, definitely finishing him. Like I say, maybe some Krakeny scales on this guy or fur. There's a lot more we can do with him, but I don't know. Didn't really think about it too much today. Yeah, I think as a first ever proper stream, it didn't go too badly. So thanks again, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video and also maybe the next stream on Sunday. So yeah, peace out. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.